Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Good
evening, ma'am.
evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So tell me, have you gone through the things in your study material? Is anything you want to discuss or any doubts you have from the syllabus? Anything you want to discuss? Anything, or should we go for a question paper? I've shared my screen, right? So we are again going for the theory question paper. So this is one of your papers of December 2020, right? Again, the same pattern is there. So first question is perform the following, convert the number 16.25 base 10 to binary, decimal to binary you have to convert the number 10111010, that is binary number to decimal, and then hexadecimal to binary, and then convert binary to hexadecimal. Right? Any problems in this question? It's a 6 marks question. Right? Any problems with this question? Anybody has any problem?
No problem.
Okay, then list the input or output devices for the following situations. Also describe the features of the device. For taking photographs, what will you use?
Camera.
Webcam? Web camera, right? Producing output of photograph? So for taking photograph, you will use web camera. So you have to describe the features also of the device, right? And then producing output of the photograph.
Printer, ma'am.
Yes, that you have printer. So you will explain the features of the printer. Then input of voice,
Microphone. Speaker. Microphone.
speakers, right? So you will input voice through speakers. You will write the features for that. And output of voice, speaker or this is microphone. Input of voice will be what? Microphone,
Microphone.
na? And
Input of
output of
voice
voice,
microphone.
what?
Input of voice microphone and output of
Output
voice
of, yes,
speaker.
speakers, right? So you have to explain those input devices and the features of those devices. So what is the role of main memory in computer? This question we had already discussed yesterday, right?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
role. Why is it called RAM? Why the main memory is called RAM? Because RAM is random access memory and it is a volatile memory on which the computers, operating system and application are currently run. Right? So while you on the system, the memory which requires to run operating system and other applications is of RAM. So that's why it is called RAM, random access memory. And randomly you can or directly you can randomly take any memory space in that. How is RAM different from ROM? RAM is random access memory, ROM is read-only memory. So how both are different? RAM is volatile, ROM is volatile.
ROM not volatile.
Room is not
It is non-volatile, right? Then RAM is random access memory. That means you can read and write both in RAM, right? But in ROM, read-only memory, you can only read. You cannot write in ROM. You know that now?
Yes.
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 So RAM is read-write memory, but ROM is only read-only memory. So you can only read, right? So RAM is volatile, ROM is non-volatile. So you have to tell these kinds of differences, right? And at the time of manufacturing, ROM is the program inside the ROM is at the time of manufacturing. It is programmed, so you can only read the content inside the ROM, but in RAM you can read and write on that memory. So that is what the difference you have to tell. And there are two types of RAM, static and dynamic. There are three types of ROM, that is PROM, programmable read-only memory, EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory, and E2PROM, that is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So you can tell that. Then you have attached a new printer to your computer. Which software will you require so that printer is installed correctly and starts to print? List features of the required computer software. So which software will you require so that printer is installed correctly and starts to print? Tell me. You have
Printers,
attached,
driver software.
yes, the driver software which lets the computer understand that a printer is installed, and the software which is required to let the printer work correctly is the driver software, device driver, printer driver or device driver you can say, right? List features of the required computer software. So you have to tell what are the features of the device driver, right? So it will be an interface, yes or no? Device driver is the interface
Yes.
which lets the operating system know that the printer is attached and the printer is working, printer is ready, printer is in problem, whatever. So that is a device driver. So all those features you can tell. Then draw a flowchart for a program to find the average marks of the students of a class in a subject. The class strength is 15. Can you do that? Here you will use arrays. You have to draw a flowchart where you have to find the average marks of the students in a class in a particular subject, right? And the class strength is 15. That is 15 students marks you have to take out average. So you will take arrays in for that. Can you do that? Flowchart. And this thing you will also find in your study material also. When you go to block 2, I don't remember it is in unit 2 or unit 3, let us see. See, yesterday there was a question, what all are the services? See, command processor and user interface, file management, input output services, process control management, memory management, operating system services, right? So from here you can study the operating system services. That is block 2, unit 2. That is not the block. let us see the third one. Here you have algorithm and flowchart. Here they are find the sum and average of marks obtained by 20 students in some subject of a course, right? The same question is there in your assignment, right? Same type of, but instead of 20, it is 15 students. You have to find the average marks of the students. The same question. Here sum and average both are there, right? Same type of question is there. So according to this, if we go for the algorithm, you will input marks of 20 student in S20. Arrays are declared like this, right? Then you will take the sum and counter. This is an input, the shape of a diagonal rectangle like. So this is for input and output, and this normal rectangle is used for initializing or giving value. So sum is 0, counter is 0 we have kept, and then again another rectangle is there for calculation. Sum is equal to sum plus s counter. Counter is you can take I or whatever which will get incremented, that is the index value of the array. If S20 is declared, array is declared S20, that means what? If array is declared S20, that means what? That means there are 20 locations in the name of the array is S, and there are 20 locations with index starting from 0 to 19. Do you understand? So instead of S20, you will take 15, right? So your students are 15 or 20, so your will be 0 to 14, right? So counter will start, that is your index will start from 0. So at index number 0, sum plus s counter, that means first you have to input the marks of 20 students, then the first index is sum added to the sum. First index, the value of the first index is added to the sum. Then the counter is incremented, and if the counter is less than 15, you will compare. Here it is 20, so less than 20. If yes, then again you will sum the second, the index number 1, it will be counter is 1, so that means here S1 location will be there, so that value will be added to the sum. Then the counter is incremented until it keeps on doing this until the counter is 20, and when it becomes 20, so it will calculate the average, which is average is equal to sum divided, it will become no, and average is equal to sum divided by total number of students, that is 20. So this will give you the average, and you are printing in the input output box, print sum and average. Stop. Do you understand? Do you understand the algorithm or not?
Understood.
You have to initialize an array for 20 students marks. That means you have to input 20 student marks in this array. Then you will initialize sum as 0, initialize counter as 0, and then you will add the first index, that is counter, first counter, that is 0, as 0 location value to sum. Then the counter is incremented. Then again this is as location 1 is added to the sum. Then again the counter is incremented until it keeps on adding the index values to the sum until you reach 19, and when it becomes equal to 20, so it will say that it will go here. If yes, it will go to step 5, keeps on checking and computing. When it becomes no, it will calculate the average and then print the sum and average. This is there. So generally, if we I'll just show you, if we talk about an array is a collection of similar elements, right? Understand? Similar elements means integer type or float type. Similar kinds should be there. Different kinds, it should not be different kinds. So I'm just showing you, like suppose I have an array of 6 items. So suppose these are marks. So I'm putting certain marks here. Right. So these are the marks. So this location is index number 0. Do you understand? This is index number 0. This will be index number 1. This will be index number 2. This will be index number 3. This will be index number 4. This will be index number 5. Right. So if the array's name is, if we say the array's name is A, yeah, whatever name you want to give, and it has 6 items. So 6 items. So this way you have to declare it. Like in C, it is declared like this: A in square bracket 6. So in C, it will be declared like this: integer type array with 6 locations: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the locations. Continuous locations will be there, and starting from 0 to 5, that is total 6 locations will be there. And in this is known as the index. This is known as the index, which is this 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever we have given are your index or the location numbers. Right? These are the index. At if we have to denote this location, so it means A0. A0 has 89, right? A1 has 90, right? A2 has 70. So this way you can also insert values in an array, right? A3 has 75, A4 has 65, and A5 has, how much was the value? 78, right? Right? Do you understand how array value are taken? Now to take the sum, suppose we have also taken that sum is equal to 0, and we have taken counter. You can take counter also, or you can take I also, whatever variable you want to take. Suppose we take I. So sum is 0, I is 0. Then we are saying if first we have to we have to calculate the sum, that is sum is equal to sum plus AI. What does that mean? Sum is equal to sum plus AI. That means index number I is what? First. I is 0, na? I we have initialized to 0. So sum is equal to, sum is 0, 0 plus AI, the 0th location of array index, that is array a 0th location is A0, and the value is 89. That means this will be like this: sum is equal to, I'm just giving an example, sum is equal to sum 0, sum is equal to 0 plus sum is 0 plus a at A0 it is 89. So your sum becomes 89, right? Then it increments the counter, that is I is equal to I plus 1. That means I is equal to 0 plus 1. I was earlier 0, then plus 1. So now I becomes what? I has now become 1. Right? Then it is checking if I is less than equal to, your is 15. I is less than equal to 15. Yes, it is. So if it is yes, then again you have to go to this, sum is equal to sum plus AI. This thing again you will sum. So this means now sum is equal to, sum was 89 earlier and plus now AI is the location number A1. At 1th location, what is the value? 90. So you here now it becomes 179. So now it becomes 179. Again it will increment I is equal to I plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, which becomes 2. I is now 2. So again it will check if I is less than equal to 52 is less than equal to 15. Yes. So it will again sum. Now the location is sum is equal to sum plus 8 2th location it is. So that is 70. So 179 plus 70 it becomes. So it will become 249. Right. So this becomes 249. So this way it keeps on adding until this value 65. So then you will get the in sum you will get the total sum. Then after that, when this becomes greater than greater than becomes equal to 15, it will come out of the loop and it will find the average, which is sum divided by 15. Your sum will be your total sum divided by number of items, number of students, that is 15. I'm just giving you an example. I have put only 6, so right now it will be 6. So this way, right? So it will check that your array is less than 6 or what. You have to divide the value and then you have to print the average. If you are required to print the sum also, you can print the sum. Any problems?
No, ma'am.
Right. So this way you should understand how to make a flowchart. So the flowchart is this one. We were discussing about the algorithm. Flowchart is this. This is your flowchart. So this slanting rectangle is a input-output box. So input and output, print and input are given here. This normal rectangle is your processing box, which where calculations or initialization happen. So this is there, right? And this diamond box is a condition checking box, or if it is actually. And then you here these arrows represent the next logic, and start and stop are in oval. Start and stop are oval ones. This you have to take. Now list 6 operations that can be performed using word processor. Tell me. 6 operations which can be performed using a word processor. What are the 6 operations you can do?
Editing,
Yes, you can write letters. You can edit letters, edit a document, write a document, right?
Flowchart.
You can make a flowchart. Yes, you can make a you can say you can make a picture or a diagram, right? Flowchart, instead of saying flowchart, you can say you can make diagrams. You can mail merge in a word processor. Yes.
Yes.
That is also a facility. What else?
birthday card, invitation
You
card,
can make flyers or invitation cards also, or banners also. What else?
magazines, create magazines,
Resume.
Yeah, you can make a resume. You can make magazines also. So you have to list down the operations that can be performed using a word processor, right? Then explain the characteristics of hub and a router. Which of the two will be needed if you want to connect from one network to another? Tell me. What is a hub and what is a router? These are two network devices. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a hub?
Hub is a
hub is
network
very,
device which broadcasts when it receives packet to all ports.
Yes.
But in router, it is filtering
Yes,
and
it
it
is filtered and a
connecting
particular route
multiple
is
networks.
selected by the router.
Yes, ma'am. Network router multiple network connecting device.
Yeah.
And
So
which
a
give
router is a network device which connects different networks,
yes, ma'am.
right? And it finds a particular route where the best route, you can say, the fastest
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the best route to
Best
reach
for
that
yes, ma'am.
destination,
Yes.
right? So which one will be needed? Two will be needed if you want to connect from one network to another. So that will be a router,
Router.
not a hub.
Yes, ma'am.
A hub only doesn't connect different networks. It just connects one kind of network, like a LAN. In a LAN, you have number of computers, so hub can connect them, right? But it broadcasts to all the devices. Whatever you are sending, one particular device is sending, it broadcasts to all the devices, and the device which it is intended takes the receives the data. That's all. But router doesn't broadcast to everyone. Router sends to a particular device only, or makes a perfect route, fastest route to that device, and it also connects different kinds of networks. So the answer for these this will be a router, right? What is an IPv4 address? What is an IPv4 address? IPv version 4. IPv version 4 address is your IP address, which is your 32-bit address, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It's a 32-bit address. So like we were saying, it is a 4-byte address, 32-bit. If 4 bytes are there, so 1 byte is 8 bits now.
And 8 bits. 8 bits in
8 4s are 32, right?
yes, ma'am. Difference by dotted and
Yeah,
numerical.
dotted
Yes.
decimal notation is there, right? So what are its components?
Network ID and host ID. Yeah, the
Yeah,
component.
network ID and host ID, right? What is the use
Yes.
of a subnet mask?
By the subnet marks, we a large network is scattering in small networks, ma'am.
Yeah, subnet mask also lets you know that whether that IP address is on the same network or on a different network.
Yes, ma'am.
So it lets you know that whatever devices you are sending the data to is on the same kind of a network, or it is on a different network. So through the network ID, it will detect it is the same network or it is on a different network. So subnet mask lets you know that. Explain with the help of an example. So you can give an example and show, like 192.168.1.4, whatever. You can take an IP address, and subnet mask of this is 255.255.255.0, right? So your net IDs are 192.168.1, and host ID will be the last one, right?
Yes.
So that you have to tell. What is a browser?
It's a software.
It's a software for surfing the
Software.
internet,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Why is it needed? To surf the internet, or to open a URL to view
And
websites and all that, right? List any two features of a browser, so you can write these features, that if you want to view web pages and internet information, you have
Multiple tabs.
yeah, you can open multiple tabs also, multiple URLs also can be opened on multiple tabs. So that kind of features you can tell. What is the role of arithmetic logic unit and control unit in a computer?
To perform calculation.
Arithmetic logic unit, and first and foremost tell, arithmetic logic unit and control unit are part of your CPU, right? Central processing unit have two parts now, arithmetic logic unit and control unit, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to tell that they are part of the CPU, and arithmetic logic unit is used for calculations, arithmetic and logical calculations. and control unit controls the CPU activities, right? It controls the arithmetic logic unit also, the input and output information also, and processing information also, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So this you have to tell. Then what is the supercomputer?
And it
What
is
is
a
a
type of computer
It
which
is
is used
used
for
for
scientific
this.
calculations.
Yes, it is a computer which is having the largest memory and the fastest speed, right? Right or wrong?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and the size wise also it is the biggest computer. According to size, it is the biggest computer. According to memory, it has the largest memory, and speed is also the fastest. And how is it different from mainframe computer? Mainframe computers are what? They have a little less memory than supercomputers. The speed of the mainframes is also less than the supercomputers, and mainframe computers are generally used as server computers, right? And supercomputers are generally used for scientific applications like weather forecasting, robot control, or atomic research, and all that, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Also,
these
user
kinds of
is large number of users of mainframe computers, ma'am.
mainframe computers can handle number of users also, multiple
Yes, ma'am.
users,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So these kinds of difference you can tell between both. What are the uses of magnetic tape? Explain how is the access mechanism magnetic tape different than that of magnetic disc. I've told you now what are magnetic tapes. You can store data in a magnetic tape. Earlier you didn't have magnetic discs like your hard disk and all. You have tape drives to store data, right? Do you understand? Like you had cassette in earlier, you had cassettes for I don't know, you have seen or not, but earlier there were cassettes for listening to music and all, right? There were videos of video cassettes also, VCRs, right? So data was written on the cartridge of that tape, or tape was on the tape the data was written. Those were known as magnetic tape. So the uses are that you can store data on magnetic tape, right? And you could how is the access mechanism of there are two kinds of three kinds of access mechanism. One is sequential. Do you understand what is sequential mechanism? Do you know what is sequential?
No, ma'am.
Sequential means one by one you could access the data. You cannot go from to directly to third file or to the fourth file. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I remember.
Earlier cassettes were like that only, na? You had to listen to the first one, then the second will play, then the third one will play, right? So magnetic tape mechanism was not random, it was sequential mechanism was followed. Access mechanism was sequential. That first file will be accessed, then you can access the second, then you can access the third. Right? But magnetic disk, what mechanism magnetic disk is following? It is following random mechanism. That means any file wherever it is located, it is not sequential. You can open any file wherever it is. Yes or no? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So this is the difference between both the mechanisms. The tape drives used to follow sequential mechanism, and magnetic disk follows random mechanism. Right? Now explain the term pixel resolution and LEDs in the context of computer monitors. I told you to study these things. Do you know what is a pixel?
Single dot on
The
screen.
smallest portion of display.
Yeah, smallest portion of the display, which or smallest element you can say of the display is the pixel,
Yes.
which are represented by dots,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What is resolution?
Resolution is the number of pixels.
Yeah, resolution is the number of pixels. So sometimes it is 1024 into 768 something something. So there are
Yes.
different kinds of resolutions. So number of pixels make your resolution. And what is LED?
A light emitting diode for
Yeah,
use just
light
like the
emitting
display.
diode. Yes, they are generally used in computer monitors, and they take less
Yes.
power and less heat generation is there.
Yes.
So LEDs generally nowadays, all the devices which are coming, especially monitors and TV devices which are coming are generally LEDs, right?
Yes. Brightness also more. Yes.
In brightness is more, resolution is good, pixel formation is good, so that's why
Yes.
LEDs are used. Then explain the role of recycle bin and taskbar on Windows operating system.
Recycle bin, deleted files will be there.
Yes.
Taskbar, frequently used softwares icons will be there.
Taskbar is on your Windows. This is your taskbar, na, where you
Performance.
can search, where your folders or the small icons are there. This is your taskbar for operating system, right? Each and
Okay.
every application also has a taskbar, and Windows also has a taskbar, right? So what is the role of the taskbar?
For a quick search,
To give you easy access to different applications, na? Yes or no?
yes, ma'am.
Easy access to different applications, or you can search from the taskbar also. So that is what the taskbar does, right? Then it is asking what are the various components of a local area network. Various component. What does various component means?
Various components, network devices, switch,
Yes, you can say wire also.
nodes, yeah, host,
Nodes, your
cable,
computers,
media. Yes.
right? So you can tell that you will require a network media, that will be your wire based. If it is wire
Yes.
based or wireless, so you will not require a media a wire. So that is one thing. And if you will require nodes or computers to connect in a local area network, you will require a switch or a hub to connect that, right?
Yes. Yes.
And what are the advantages of using LAN? What are the advantages of using LAN?
Through LAN, we protected uh, from other
And it
networks,
is cost effective.
and it is used for buildings.
Yes, yeah, you can say for a small area,
Yes.
you can use LAN network, right? Like in a building or in 1 kilometer area.
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
will use LAN. How
Through
are
LAN,
LAN, and what else?
yes,
So,
ma'am. Through LAN, we are sharing many folder and resources between
yes,
our
we can.
small
Yes,
geographical areas.
yes, you can share resources in a local area network,
Yes,
like printer, scanner, whatever will be there, right? What else? What else will be the advantage?
yes,
Your computers in a particular building will be connected, and you can share the different items or files with each other, right?
yes, ma'am.
How are LAN different from WAN? Local area network is limited to a building or something 1 kilometer area, but WANs is wide area network. All the countries, all the whole world is connected. An example of that is internet, right? So that difference you have to tell. The distance difference is there, right? And wide area network, all the computers in the world are connected. In local area network, only a limited computers are connected within a building or within a campus or something, right? Then explain the ring topology with the help of a diagram. So what is a topology? Arrangement of computers is known as topology, right? How do you arrange the computers in a network? So that is known as a topology. So what is ring topology? You have bus, ring, mesh, tree, star, right? So what is ring topology? So ring topology is like a circle. Computers are connected in a circle. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So in a circle, you can show ring topology. And what are the advantages and disadvantages of ring topology?
Yes, ma'am. It is easy for installation
It is easy, yes.
and easy to find out any fault occurred.
Can be, and one thing is there that the data travels. The disadvantage is that the data travels in only one direction,
Yes, ma'am.
right? If
And
suppose one computer is not working, then what will happen to the network?
all network is disrupted or
Yeah.
disconnected.
Yes. So these kinds of advantages and disadvantages you can give, right?
Yes.
And that is in your block 3, unit 1. Explain the following web application giving their features and advantages: e-learning, email. So both these web applications, e-learning is used for what? Features and advantages. E-learning is learning through internet, right?
Yes.
Right. So e-learning helps you study online, right? These are the features and advantages, huh? Have access to online content and online learning, right? So that kind of a thing you have done. Email, what does email help you in? Electronic mail. To send and receive emails through internet, right? Faster mails are sent within a second, right? So you can email from anywhere, any part of the world, sitting at anywhere, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is a computer virus? What is a
Malicious
computer
software.
virus? It's a malicious software which intends to destroy the files or your system's files and makes the computer vulnerable, right?
Yes.
What role can antivirus software play to control a computer virus?
It is a utility software
Yes, it is a utility software which
which
scans for,
countermeasure for attacking a virus.
yeah, it scans for your systems regularly to find out if there is any virus attack, and it removes the virus from your system,
Yes.
right? What are open source software?
Which codes are freely available and developed
Software with the
Source
source
code
code.
is
any developers.
available for the open source softwares are those softwares which are also distributed freely. The versions are distributed freely, or their source code is also available, right?
Yes.
What are the primary objectives of open source movement? What is the primary objective? The primary objective is this only, that all the people can use the software
And development also.
And yeah, and development of new versions or better software also happens through source code sharing, right?
Yes.
What is graphical user interface? GUI. What is graphical user interface?
It's a technology where
See,
interfaces.
We can interact with the computer or machine.
yes, graphically. You can
Yes.
interact with the computer graphically. Earlier, your computer was not graphical user interface. You didn't have icons. You didn't have this pictures or anything. Earlier, the computer was all command based, right? Your operating system DOS was command based. Then graphical user interface operating systems came, where you could click on the icon, you could drag and drop, copy, whatever, right?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
could see pictures, videos, and all that. So graphical user interface is a technology which let you see the computer items like icons and all that on your computer. And what are the advantages of using these interfaces is that it is easy to see and easy to manage, and you have clicks. Through clicks, you can open certain items. You can see the image of the file or your folders, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So it is easier to use a graphical user interface rather than command because you have to remember all the commands then. Explain the terms subroutine and function in the context of programming languages with the help of an example each. What is a subroutine and what is a function? Subroutine is a set of statements, right? Which can be run anywhere, right? But what is a function? Function is also a set of statements, and it is generally used for reusability, right? You have made one function, suppose sum. So that function, anywhere you want, you can use that function sum and run it. Do you understand? Are you understanding? Like you are using in Excel equal to sum. So sum is a function there, right? And that function or formula, you just have to do what? You have just have to apply the parameters, and it will calculate the sum for those parameters. Yes or no? Yes or no? Tell me.
Ma'am, can you please explain this?
See, function is a set of statements written in some programming language, right? Do you understand? Set of instructions written in some programming language is a function. Like in C, you make void main or main as a function. So inside that function, you write set of statements, and when you run that function, it gives you some result. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So function is a set of statements, and what is the advantage of a function is that it can be reused. So suppose you want to calculate sum in one sheet, and in another sheet also you want to find the sum. So that doesn't mean that you will keep on writing the program again and again for sum. Once you have written, you can call that same function and use the sum. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So reusability of code is there, right? And subroutine is also a kind of function, but it is generally subroutines are nowadays not used. Subroutines is also a set of statements which is executed and the output is returned to you, right? But generally they are not used for reusability. Subroutines are not used so much for reusability. Functions are used. Do you understand now?
Okay, ma'am.
Now, what is meant by macros in the context of spreadsheet software? Do you know what are macros in spreadsheet software?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
And for automation, or we can do a automatic task, repeated
Yes,
task with that.
repeated tasks if you want. Like in Word, we made a macro. What we did, we wrote certain lines and we made a macro in that for that. And when we want those lines to be pasted anywhere, we could run the macro there. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? We have made a macro there also. Right? So any automated task which you require that automatically it does, it gets pasted or does that work. So you can make a macro. And why are they needed what you can say easier tasks, and some items which repeatedly we want to do will be easier to do here, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Then discuss the uses of any 8 of the following in a computer system or networking. So any 8 you have to discuss. It is firewall, TCP/IP protocol, radio waves, twisted pair cable, compiler, linker, presentation software, database management, ASCII, DVD, mouse, barcode reader. So any 8 you have to. Firewall is it is a
The
software as well.
software
It
and
is a
software and
software as well as a hardware also.
hardware which protect PC from unauthorized access.
It helps that no unwanted access or uh, unauthorized access is allowed to your system. It
And
stops
taking
that.
countermeasure against vulnerabilities for PC.
Yeah. Then TCP/IP protocol is for transmission control. That means it
Transmission
transfers the file from one system to the other. That protocol, right? It's a protocol which makes a rule for transferring the file from one system to the other. What are radio waves? They are wireless media. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
they are wireless media and they have certain range. I don't remember what is the range of radio waves. So just see in your things, right? So they generally have some frequency bands through which they transfer the data, right? FM and AM. Then twisted pair cable, that is your wire based medium, that is guided media, right? One of the guided media. And twisted pair cable is uh, I think cat 5 cat 5 or cat 6 now. Nowadays cat 6 is also there. So those are your twisted pair cables, right? Your LAN cables.
Yes, ma'am.
Then compiler. What is a compiler? I told you. A difference between compiler and interpreter. That can
It's a
also come.
software that converts high-level language to machine language.
Yes.
Translates,
And
yeah.
what does a interpreter do? That also does the same thing.
Line by
But it does line by line, and compiler does the whole program in one go. Right? What is a linker? Anybody knows what is a linker? No? See, when you attach a header file in your C program, remember hash include stdio.h header file were included. Some library files are included in programs, suppose, right? So what does the linker do is, when the compiler compiles the program, so it converts the program into machine code, right? Right? So the linker, what it does is, apart from your compiler first checks the source code of your program, whether there is any syntax error or anything is there or not. When it checks for errors, so the source code is also added with the library file code also. The linker adds that library file code also after you have corrected the source code and error is gone. Then the compiler checks whether gives the code to the linker that if there is any other thing which needs to be added or library files which needs to be added. So linker links those files with the program, your source code, and then the compiler converts your program into machine code. Do you understand? What does the linker is doing? Whatever library files are there, it automatically converts, attaches them with your source code. Yes? Understand or not? Like printf, scanf are used for printing and inputting data in a C program. So those printf function and scanf function come from the library file stdio.h. So to link those codes also, printf, scanf code also with your source code, so that is what linker does. Do you understand now or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, what is presentation software? Your PPT. Right. Presentation software is used to present data in a graphical or
Yes.
in graphical modes, right? Then database management. Why is database management used?
To
For
manipulate data.
managing, organizing, storing data. Remember, yesterday I told you about database. It is a collection of data, and a database management software lets you manage the data, organize it, add, delete, update, whatever you can do with the database management software, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is ASCII?
American Standard.
Code for Information Interchange, right? Why is it used? It is a 7-bit code. Earlier it was 7-bit code, now it is an 8-bit code. So earlier the keyboards were, what were the keyboards? Every company had their own keyboard, right? So if you want to attach a particular keyboard of one company to the other company, you could not do that. Why? Because the keyboards have different codes for each alphabet. Every keyboard was not a standard keyboard. They were following their own binary codes. So later on, American Standard Code for Information Interchange organization was formed, and they made a fixed code for each alphabet, right? So A had whatever, A's code was taken capital A to capital Z, small a to small z, 0 to 9 numbers, special characters. Every code was given to the alphabets and letters and digits and special characters, and that is known as your ASCII code, and that is an 8-bit code now. You understand now? That means each and every keyboard will follow that code only, and every keyboard can be attached to any other computer also, plug and play. So you don't have, A will not be taken in any other form, A will have one code only. Now what is DVD? DVD is digital video disc, right?
Yes.
So it is a technology for storing data, right? It is a secondary storage device. Yes or no? DVD. What is the size of the DVD? How much can it store? How much?
2.7
GB is something.
Yes. Right. And mouse? What is a mouse?
Mouse is an optical device.
It's an optical device and input device.
Yes.
And it is used for pointing items on your system.
Yes.
It's a pointing device, right? And mouse also comes in different things like now. Earlier it was a scrolling mouse, or what he used. I don't remember what. PS2 mouse was there. Then USB have come, right?
Yes.
So that while now wireless mouse have also come. Then barcode reader. What is barcode reader? It
It
is
is
also
also
an
an
input
input device.
device, right? And it reads the bars or barcode given in the products. Each
Which
product has
converts
a barcode, and for reading that barcode is a barcode reader.
it converts numbers and binary.
Yeah, it actually has the barcode has information
Capital.
about the product,
Yes, ma'am.
and it is converted in binary or whatever format, and then you can see on the system that the price of the product or the product name and all that on the system when you scan the barcode, right? So see, can you now understand what kind of questions have come? We have only seen 2 years paper right now. Is there any difficulty? Class?
No, ma'am.
So you see what way you have to study your papers. You should always remember that your papers, the questions are these kinds of questions have been asked earlier also. If you download the other papers also, you can download them. So I told you to download last 5 years question papers so that you can revise those questions. You can write your answers yourself on your notebook, and you could before the exam you could read those answers, and you are prepared for your exam also. All the
Ma'am, from
syllabus
where
can
can we download?
I told you na yesterday also. I told you you can go to this. You have to go here on the IGNOU website, student support, and click on student zone, right? On the IGNOU's main website, student support, you have student zone, right? Then when you
Okay.
click on student zone, this will open, and here you have question papers. So there are many things there. You have assignments also, right? You have results also, library. There are many things here, programs and all that. So here you have question papers. Go to question papers, and here you will have the year for which question paper you want to download. Like if you want to download for, just hold on for a second. Yeah, sorry. So when you open any year, then you have to search for, say, Control F and search for SOCIS. What will you search? SOCIS, School of Computer and Information Sciences, right? This SOCIS. School of Computer and Information Sciences, and here you have BCA, Bachelor of Computer Applications. Just click on the paper. You have BCS-11, Computer Basics and PC Software. You also have BCS-12, Basic Math. Then FPG will not be here. I don't know. If you don't find FPG and Eco here, you can also search like this. You can say FPG2 question paper, English 1. So you can also have online things available. You can download, right? You can download from here also. Question papers. Eco 01, you can download it like this. Right? So here generally computer papers are there, so you can open them. Right? Anything, any problems?
No, ma'am.
Right? So you can download the question papers and you can revise the previous year 5 years question paper. Any problems you are finding, anything? We have now 2 days more. We have extended our schedule, right? You must have seen I have sent it on the group also.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So we have 2 days more now. Then our classes will be ending. All your classes have now ended. Right. So you have 2 days more. Whatever doubts or whatever problems you are facing, you can ask. That is my main motive. We have also discussed practical question papers also. So many of practical question papers also we have discussed. Any problems in practical thing?
No, ma'am.
So any feedback you want to give regarding your studies?
कहाँ देना फीडबैक?
नहीं, मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ, देना कहीं नहीं है. Yes, there is a class at 7 p.m. also. Just we'll have a class and you can mark your attendance at that time, 15-20 minutes. Tell me, anybody wants to give any feedback or anything? How was your studies? Were you able to understand
ये वाली कौन सी क्लास है?
यही क्लास है.
अच्छा, अभी ब्रेक लेंगे?
हाँ जी सोनल. नहीं, आपको मैंने भेजा था ना, एक मिनट सोनल, आपको मैंने भेजा था ना शेड्यूल, जो उसमें 2 टाइम आपकी क्लास है ना, 5 to 7, 7 to 9.
यस मैम.
राइट. तो 7 वाली का अटेंडेंस लगाना है ना हमें. वैसे तो हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं काफी चीजें.
तो हम जो अभी अटेंडेंस लगाएंगे उसके अलावा वो भी उधर भी लगानी पड़ेगी अटेंडेंस?
उधर भी लगानी है आपको.
अच्छा.
हाँ जी सोनल. यस, व्हाट डू यू वांट? सोनल.
Ma'am, I just have one request.
Yeah.
This time we done our assignment before any classes was there. So it was
See,
like just
Sonal, I'll tell you one thing. This is a rule of IGNOU earlier also, for offline modes also, for any other mode also. Your assignments come beforehand. Remember that. Right? Your classes may be delayed, but your assignment comes beforehand. So you don't have to wait for the classes to get over. Whatever will be there, you start making your assignments. For the second semester, which is your second semester will be for the July session, right?
yes,
Right. So in
Yes,
July, August, you go to the IGNOU website. If it is not in your LMS portal, you go to the IGNOU website. I have told you, na, student zone, you have assignments also there. So go to assignments and under BCA, you will find BCA first semester, July 2022 assignments. Every July, new assignments come. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So that July assignment is also repeated in January also. So in July, your new assignments will come, and you can see your assignments, and whatever questions or or you can go to the study material also. You can download the study material. The same offline mode study material is the same for you also. So you can download the study material. You can see your courses which are there, or course codes which are there in your program guide, or your when you re-register, so the programs will be, program course codes will be there. So you can download the course code study material, and you can find the answers and write them. It will not never be like classes will be held earlier, then the assignments will be submitted. It will never happen that way. So remember that.
Okay, ma'am.
Extension of the assignment could be there, but because this is the first time the online assignments are there, so if you have submitted the assignment once, so they are not accepting the second time maybe. Right, and if you have missed one answer, so it won't matter, doesn't matter. So everybody has put their attendance. Anybody who is left for marking his attendance? So we'll wind up the class right now and meet at yes, Amandeep.
मैम ये 7 बजे वाली क्लास ये प्रैक्टिकल वाली ही है ना?
हाँ जी, प्रैक्टिकल वाली ही है, इसीलिए तो अटेंडेंस मार्क करना जरूरी है ना।
कोई भी हुआ वो भी प्रैक्टिकल ही था ना?
सी अभी तक आपका जितना भी चल रहा है सब प्रैक्टिकल ही चल रहा है।